In today's news, District 1 Representative Fahie submits notice of absence to the House of Assembly. Who gave the governor the constitutional authority to set up the Constitutional Review Committee, says Dr. Kedrick Pickering. Flight delays, telephone outages, and changes in the customs process are to be blamed for the poor service, says Aeropost. BVI Financial Services Commission new authorization and supervision division becomes fully operational as of July 1st, and Rotary Club of Tortola partners with the YEP for 2022 summer pop-up. All this when 284 News returns.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you, you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Welcome everybody. It's Thursday, June 30th, 2022. I'm Ron Grant. A terrific Tuesday to each and every one of you. We're coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the British Virgin Islands. Thank you so much for tuning in. Beginning our newscast on the local scene, Representative for the 1st District and former Premier Andrew Fahie, for the first time since his arrest in April in the United States, has submitted a notice of absence to the House of Assembly. This was confirmed by Speaker of the House of Assembly, the Honorable Corinne George Massacot, during the 4th sitting of the 4th session of the 4th House of Assembly earlier this morning.
I have the following announcements to make. Please note that the following members have given notice of their absence from today's sitting. Minister for Natural Resources and Labor, Honorable Melvin Turnbull. Minister for Education, Culture, Youth Affairs and Sports, Honorable Shari De Castro. And Member for the 1st District, Honorable Andrew Fahie. Thank you.
Fahie was recently released on bail after posting a bond that was granted in the sum of $1 million by U.S. District Judge Kathleen Williams. Judge Williams granted Fahie a $500,000 personal surety bond in addition to the $500,000 corporate surety bond which was issued by federal court judge Alicia Ortiz Reyes earlier in May. Now, the former premier, who is required to wear a GPS device so he can be monitored at all times, had to first prove that the money for his bail was from a legitimate source before being released from custody. Judge Williams also ordered Fahie's daughters and wife to surrender their passports, adding that his attorney, Teresa Van Vallette, can only visit him at his daughter's home in southwest Miami-Dade County. Fahie has since pleaded not guilty to the charges of conspiracy to import a controlled substance, conspiracy to engage in money laundering, and attempted money laundering, facing up to 20 years if convicted. If convicted, Fahie could face a maximum of life in prison for the charge of conspiracy to import a controlled substance and 2 maximum sentences of 20 years each if convicted for conspiracy to engage in money laundering and attempted money laundering. According to recent court documents, Fahie's trial date is set for July 18th. Former Deputy Premier Dr. Kedrick Pickering wants the answers to the questions of who gave the governor constitutional authority to set up the Constitutional Review Committee of the territory. Dr. Pickering posed the question during his recent appearance as a guest on the Honestly Speaking radio program. With the BVI's constitution not suspended, he said the governor should not be responsible for overseeing the composition of the committee.
If what I hear, Pastor, the rumblings that I'm hearing about who will be on the committee, let me ask you this, let me ask myself, let me ask the country this, because I may be wrong, and I'm being very bold about it, but who gave the governor, and I'm saying it loud and clear, who gave the governor the constitutional responsibility to set up a constitutional committee for this country? That's the perfect question. I sat down and I read and I said, hold on a minute. As far as I'm aware, the UK government did not suspend this constitution. So as far as I'm aware, I know the government has special responsibilities. I know the governor has resolved powers, but somebody has to help me to understand who gave him the power to set up a constitutional committee to go and decide what kind of constitution we should have and to report back to him, and then he will take it forward. If that is happening, people, then I am completely lost. And I'm saying that because I mean every word of what I say. That is the danger that we face right now.
Dr. Pickering also questioned the implications of such a decision. He said it implies that the BVI people are not capable of successfully reviewing the Constitution by themselves, which is a false assumption. The former District 7 representative said it was the people of the territory who were responsible for reviewing the current Constitution, which at the time in 2007 was seen as a blueprint by other Caribbean islands.
Every constitution that we've had, every constitutional review that we've had, we've done it ourselves. And the 2007 Constitution was one that other people in overseas territories were looking at to see how they could get to that point. How all of a sudden now we can't do a constitutional review for ourselves? What is wrong with the former premier, the committee that he set up to move this ball forward? What is wrong with those persons? Even if there was the opportunity to add some persons or subtract, but how all of a sudden, because one person fall, our whole country fall. Help me understand that, Pastor. If I'm missing something, somebody has got them, because that reverberates deep in my spirit. Served in this country for the number of years I served in the House of Assembly, and having been a member of the Constitutional Review Commission, know how long it took to go through that entire process, know how many hours we put in to get to the point where we had something put together that eventually we could negotiate with the UK government. Then their team came, then our team went to the UK, and you are telling me now that we could do this in a month. I'm missing something, so somebody has got to help me understand that.
Dr. Pickering urged residents to pay attention to these developments and not take them for granted. Meanwhile, host of the show, Claude Skelton-Klein, questioned the constitutionality of the decisions made by the National Unity Government and the governor. He too said that a number of questions have been pending, considering the BVI's constitution remains active after the United Kingdom government opted not to suspend it.
You've raised a question that I've been looking from our legal fraternity, whom I'm sorely disappointed with, that we have not heard from the legal fraternity, as to how much of what we see that is being done and what has been proposed to be done, how is it even constitutional in the first place, to your point, when the Constitution have not been suspended? How is it that these things would be able to be done? Now, bear in mind, my a priori statement is that we shouldn't even be in this position in the first place. We should not be in this kind of relationship with the UK in the first place. So let's set that aside. But to your question, that's where I am, Doc. That's what I've been struggling with these last few weeks.
The deadline for the establishment of the Constitutional Review Committee, according to the National Unity Government's framework for implementing the Commission of Inquiry report recommendations, is today, Thursday, June 30th. The framework further states that the committee will have until July 31st, 2022 to submit a final report to the Premier and Governor of the Virgin Islands. Flight delays, telephone outages, and changes in the processes relating to Her Majesty's Customs are said to be blamed for the recent poor service displayed by courier agent Tortola Express. This is according to Chief Executive Officer of Tortola Express, Colin Rathbone, who made the disclosure in a statement sent out to Aeropost customers via email on Wednesday. He said the purpose of the statement was to update the company's consumers on what has been taking place behind the scenes over the past week. In an official quote, he said, "We have had numerous flight delays. The airline we use to move cargo from Miami to San Juan has had a nasty combination of pilot shortages and ground aircraft, resulted in transit times changing from mostly overnight to mostly 2 nights, and in some cases several more nights," Rathbone stated. He also added, and I quote, "Unfortunately, the situation continues this week. We've explored switching airlines, but this will not end up with a better result since everyone is congested due to the shortage of this main cargo airline. We anticipate them to be in better shape next week." Customer service response time is slow, of course, because in addressing the reason behind the now poor customer service, the CEO said that the response times have been slower than usual due to telephone provider issues. He said, and I quote, "Our telephone providers had several outages during the week, and for 2 days, our remote teams were unable to access phone calls. This, compounded with a uniquely short-staffed week, meant we were really on the back foot. Our team worked as hard as they could with late hours trying to catch up, but the volume was simply more than we could handle. Unfortunately, we still have a backlog to work through," he explained. Rathbun also pointed out to issues with Her Majesty's Customs that stem, he says, from major changes which he said were made without notifying the organization. In an official quote, he said, "On Friday, June 24th, we were verbally informed by HM Customs officers of a major change in the process behind, given effect immediately with no notice period. Currently, some of our clearances are being rejected. We are in discussions with Customs on how to proceed swiftly, but anticipate some delays here." Now, viewers, the statement from the CEO, Rathbun, follows numerous complaints raised by Aeropost customers over the last week. Many comments were posted on social media sites, including Facebook's The Real BVI Community Board page. Of course, we will keep you updated as the story develops. Up next, BVI Financial Services Commission New Authorization and Supervision Division becomes fully operational on July 1st, and the Rotary Club of Tortola partners with YEP for 2022 Summer Pop-Up. All this when we return.
You value traditions. Today. You value music. You value education. Family.
I love you.
Service.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Hello?
Wait, you had a long time. You say you were sick? What happened to over the rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
All right, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later.
Bye.
Okay, honey. I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today. Viewers, welcome back and thank you so much for sticking with us. The British Virgin Islands Financial Services Commission is advising all industry practitioners that its new authorization and supervision division becomes fully operational effective Friday, 1st July 2022. The new structure transitions the Commission's supervisory framework from product-based supervision to risk-based functional management, allowing the Commission to enhance oversight of the regulated businesses and individuals and reduce potential harm to consumers and markets more efficiently. The Authorization and Supervision Division comprises of the following 4 new units, which now replace the traditional investment business, insurance and banking, insolvency, and fiduciary services. They are authorization, prudential service supervision, specialized supervision, and market conduct supervision. The authorization unit is the centralized unit responsible for authorization and, of course, activities of all regulated entities, products, and persons, and receives and processes all pre-licensing and post-licensing applications for approval. The unit's function is to ensure that all applicants and existing regulated entities satisfy the requirements to carry out regulated activities. Submissions of all transactions requiring approval should be sent to this unit. Effective July 1st, the Commission advises the public that submissions to the Authorization and Supervision Division should be made to the respective units as detailed as follows. Under this new operating structure, the Commission is committed to the following: reducing redundancy and lack of transparency in the regulatory reporting process, ensuring our requirements can respond effectively to innovation or other significant developments in the financial services industry, and improving on our customer-focused priorities by streamlining our processes, improving response times, and continually strengthening the scope and efficiency of our services. Thanks to support from the Rotary Club of Tortola and other donors, the Youth Empowerment Center, also known as YEP, will hold a 8-week summer program beginning July 5th for 150 children at the Road Town Multi-Purpose Sports Complex. The Road Town Pop-Up Limited is in addition to YEP's regular summer program at its East End location, which is also set to welcome some 150 children, thus doubling YEP's reach and impact for the summer of 2022. Establishing, of course, in 2005, YEP has to date provided over some 5,500 children in the Virgin Islands and beyond with enriching after-school and summer activities. Girls and boys between the ages of 8 to 16 participate in a wide variety of activities, from team building, skill building, and homework assistance to sports, cooking, and art classes, all within a safe and nurturing environment that encourages positive development and community service. For the first time, YEP will be able to provide 8 weeks of summer fun and learning to children in the Road Town area. In addition to East End, children in both locations will benefit from a number of YEP's signature enrichment programs, including traditional skill building such as coding and computer classes, sports such as basketball and dodgeball, and cultural programs such as cooking, art, and cultural history of the BVI. In addition, the children will go on field trips and join in special outdoor summer programming, such as learning to swim and snorkel through the Unite for the Sea program supported by Unite BVI, the Bitter End Yacht Club, and Beyond the Reef. We can't wait to welcome many new children and families to YEP in Road Town, said YEP Executive Director Stacey Mathar. He said, as we emerge from the COVID-19 pandemic, it is especially important to offer as many kids in the BVI as possible the opportunity to learn, grow, and just have fun with their peers all summer. He also said, we are grateful to the Rotary Club of Tortola as well as other donors and community partners for making this Road Town pop-up happen. Chairman Dr. Henry Jarecki said, and I quote, "This program responds directly to the request for YEP programming in Road Town, showing the desire for parents all over the BVI to keep their children productively engaged over the summer." Lorna Smith, Rotarian and YEP board member, noted Rotary Club of Tortola has been working to help YEP expand to serve the children of Road Town for several years. I know that our president, Eon Smith, and the entire club is extremely pleased that this event is finally happening. We look forward to great results and perhaps even more permanent locations in Road Town in the future. Viewers, when 284 News returns, Maxwell sentenced to 20 years for role played with Epstein in sexually abusing underage girls, and R. Kelly has been sentenced to 30 years in prison. We have the details when we return.
The beautiful Virgin Islands, or nature's little secret as some prefer, where the weather stays warm and the drinks stay cold, where men in wigs get their lawyer bills paid by governments and governments lose planes, where walls are built and prisoners escape. You vacation where we suffer. BVI Love.
There's a reason you get up on a morning. A reason you pick yourself up, start the day. Maybe it's sheer grit. Maybe it's your ethics. Maybe it's because you know people like you are waiting for people just like you. We all have our reasons, and for Republic Bank, that reason is you. Every little thing, every big thing. It's all about making a difference in your life. Because after 182 years, if it's one thing we're sure about, is that the difference is you. We're here to help.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works. Brilliant Hands and Minds Tutoring Services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.
The wait is over! CCT Fire is here! Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire, bring it home and upgrade today.
Viewers, welcome back and thank you so much for sticking with us. Now, closing out our newscast on the international scene, Jesslyn Maxwell has been sentenced to 20 years in federal prison for her role played in a years-long scheme of grooming and sexually abusing underage girls with former partner Jeffrey Epstein. Late last year, Maxwell was convicted on 5 counts, including sex trafficking of a minor. On Tuesday, June 28, she was handed down a 20-year sentence after U.S. prosecutors had asked the judge to sentence Maxwell to 30 to 55 years in prison, while the probation department recommended 20 years. Maxwell's authority requested a more lenient sentence of between 4.25 and 5.25 years in prison. According to CNN, Judge Allison Nathan calculated the sentencing guidelines called for about 15.5 to 19.5 years in prison. However, she delivered a sentence slightly above her prescribed range, noting the victim's disturbing testimony and Maxwell's direct and repeated participation in the horrific scheme. Ms. Maxwell is not punished in place for Epstein, Judge Nathan stated. Ms. Maxwell is being punished for the role that she played. 60-year-old Maxwell did not testify in her defense during the trial last year. However, on Tuesday, she spoke in court to the victims shortly before the sentence was handed down. She said, and I quote, "Jeffrey Epstein should have been here before all of you. It is not about Epstein. Ultimately, it is for me to be sentenced. I am sorry for the pain that you've experienced. I hope," she said, "my conviction brings you closure." Maxwell added. During her trial, prosecutors argued that both Maxwell and Epstein conspired to set up a scheme to lure young girls into sexual relationships with Epstein from 1994 to 2004 in New York, Florida, New Mexico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands, where he had property. R&B singer R. Kelly has been sentenced to 30 years in prison after being found guilty of 9 counts in 2021, with 1 charge of racketeering and 8 counts of violations of the Mann Act, a sex trafficking law. This was confirmed by the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York on Wednesday, June 29. U.S. prosecutors had initially requested that District Court Judge Ann Donnelly sentence 55-year-old Kelly to more than 25 years. However, his defense attorneys asked for 10 years or fewer, arguing that the prosecutor's request was tantamount to a life sentence. Judge Donnelly, in sentencing R. Kelly, stated, "You left in your wake a trail of broken lives." According to the reports, she also took into consideration during the sentencing Kelly's own traumatic childhood, during which his attorneys said he was repeatedly sexually abused by a family member and a landlord. She said, "It may explain, at least in part, what led to your behavior. It most surely is not an excuse." CNN, in an article, stated that the prosecutors from the Eastern District of New York accused Kelly of using his status as a celebrity and a network of people at his disposal to target girls, boys, and young women for his own sexual gratification. The federal trial lasted for approximately 5 weeks and saw testimonies from witnesses who said they were sexually and physically abused by the artist, whose real name is Robert Sylvester Kelly. Viewers, that is all the time we have today, but we want to thank you so much for tuning in. That is our news roundup. Be sure to follow us for your daily news updates at 284media.com, and of course, like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Ron Grant. Have a happy Thursday. I will see you again tomorrow as we deliver your daily dose of local, regional, and international content. We are 284 News, your source for honest and impartial news right here on 284 Media. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes,
Good
Sonny.
morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut front of people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you? You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
A show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. It doesn't always involve suits and, bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men. This season, I'm taking you on an entirely different journey, from chefs to dancers, philanthropists, communications specialists, and much more. I'm heading outside in the field to share the journey of some of the BVI's best and brightest men. From East End to West End, Bojangara, Jackson Lake, not forgetting Anigata. Our Virgin Islands gentlemen are doing the damn thing, and I'm so proud. Get ready to reason, reflect, and redirect. We are the movers and shakers of this generation, and we ain't afraid to show it. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Season 3 by yours truly, Ron Grant, raising a generation of greatness.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
Brilliant Hands and Minds Tutoring Services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center,